Okay, here we are for round 3. We're going to go take a quick look at our opponent's deck. I guess we don't have an opponent yet. Let's see here. Looks like he just DC'd. So in that time, we'll take a look at his deck. So green-white. And Magic Online really hates it when we watch replays. It just loves to end up having player errors. Okay, let's see if we can make it through a game without Magic Online just breaking down again. So he's got Crown of Empires, he's got a Lawkeeper. Okay. Let's check out the first round, see what he's got. So far I haven't seen any tricks yet, but it's very important to mine your opponent's decks to see what they're playing with, if you have the opportunity. So he does have a Spirit Mantle. And he's still not here, okay. So it looks like he is white-green splash red? Or maybe white-red splash. I think he must just be just a tricolor mix. He's got a Sarah Angel, okay. Very strange. So we ended up seeing not that much in green. He has a Flame Blast Dragon. Okay, good to know. He's got a Shock, a Spirit Mantle, a Sarah Angel. He does have Mighty Leap, okay. And a Flame Blast Dragon. Okay, so we'll just wait here a minute, see if the opponent comes back. Okay, so our opponent didn't show up, so we just ended up winning the match. So we will see you for the top 8 draft coming up. Okay, here we are for the top 8 draft. The cards that we're looking at in this pack, Cemetery Reaper is definitely a strong card. We have Doomblade, Giant Spider, Stormfront Pegasus, Volcanic Dragon, Shock. So there's a lot of Merfolk Looter also. This is a pretty powerful pack. There's a lot of cards here that I'd be very happy with. Cemetery Reaper is very strong because you can create an army fairly quickly. However, I think that Doomblade may be the better card just because it's a little bit more versatile. So I think here that the pick for us is going to be probably Doomblade. By taking the Doomblade, we are going to be passing, the Cemetery Reaper, so we could be cut off in pack 2, but I think that it's sufficient power level that we need to take the Doomblade here. And we get past. Okay, so we picked up either Honor the Pure, Gravedigger, Giant Spider. Now, Honor the Pure is an interesting card because if you pick it up early, you can end up pretty much creating a deck that really benefits from it. It's something that I definitely have wanted to try, and I think it can be a very strong card. So if you can create the deck early, Honor the Pure can be very strong. However, we do have a Doomblade. Gravedigger is also quite a good card for us if we want to stay in our color. So I think here... Well, they took a common, so they probably, maybe took like a shock or something like that. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Gravedigger here, just because I want to stay in black, and I want to, make sure that we do get some black in pack 2. Okay, so the black is still coming, and the cards here, I think that we're looking at are Devouring Swarm and Sorin's Thirst. Fireslinger is a good card also, but we want to stay on color, and I think we're going to go ahead and pick up the Sorin's Thirst here. Still a very good card. I like Devouring Swarm, but I think Sorin's Thirst is a little stronger for us. Here we can pick up like a Tormented Soul or a Ring Flesh, and Distress is fine also. Don't really want to branch off into a second color just yet. I think with the Sorin's Thirst and the Doomblade, Ring Flesh is always good. Tormented Soul is nice also, but I think that having a nice removal suite is really going to help us. So I'm going to take the Ring Flesh here. Okay, and then we at this one we're looking at like Devouring Swarm. I think pretty much that's a card we want to be taking here. We still want to be sort of cutting black. Griffin is fine, Elves are fine, Trollhide is fine. Abolisher can definitely be okay, but I think Swarm is the card we want to pick here. Just try to stay on color. And I mean, a lot of black is coming, so we're not even able to successfully cut black all that well from the packs that are behind us. So here, the cards I'm looking at, well, we have Unsummon. I don't know about Mind Unbound, how good it is. Haven't really had a chance to play with it. I think that the strongest card in this pack, though, is going to be Unsummon. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up. Here we have Divination, Plummet, which is good. Also have Child of Night. We could pick up the Child of Night and just kind of see if we can almost look at potentially like a mono black build. Divination is also quite strong though, so I think I'm going to pick up the Divination here. I think it's a little bit stronger for us. Here we've got like a Master Thief, and like a Zombie Goliath. I mean, Zombie Goliath is fine. It's definitely nothing to get excited about though. We could pick it up just to continue to cut black, but I think the Master Thief might be more relevant. I mean, if we end up seeing like a deck that's running artifacts, I mean, it can be a very nice card. Okay, so here we do definitely pick up the Consume Spirit. I mean, other cards we could look at. This is a very late Stormfront Pegasus. Very surprised to see that here, but we're definitely taking the Consume Spirit. So, Honor the Pure at this late. I mean, this is ridiculous. I think we need to pick this up at this point. This is a very strong card, and I do not understand this going that late. Here we're just going to nab the Ponder. take the rampant growth here. It's a pretty late negate. So, I mean, if we open like a white bomb, we could potentially go like black-white. Really don't understand seeing Honor the Pure going that late. I mean, if you pick up like Timely Reinforcements or, you know, draft like a pretty heavy white deck, it can be near a bomb. Okay, so for pack 2, it's a pretty mediocre pack. Haven't had a chance to play with Druidic Satchel, but yeah, I mean it's okay. I think, you know, you can definitely like power out some land, but if you're at all spell heavy, it's not that great. And we definitely already have some spells, so we could pick up like a Tormented Soul here, or we could look at, you know, possibly picking up like a Fleetwing and continuing with like the blue-black theme. We could also grab like a Sentinel and see if we want to go like black-white. The problem with black-white is white usually demands a fair amount of double color costs, and it's a pretty clunky combination. So I think we're just going to grab the Fleetwing here. I mean, blue-black is a good combo for, you know, evasion and just kind of like flyer. Here we see, okay, so there's an Assault Griffin, which is good. Azure Mage, I think, is our pick here, though. You know, Mind Rod is fine, but I think Azure Mage is very powerful. Here we can pick up a second Unsummon. We can go for like a Manolith here. Warpath Ghoul is very average. I think that here, well, we might want the Manolith just because, you know, we do have some double black and some double blue. I think I'm actually fine picking up a Manolith here. Like, Unsummon is definitely good, but we have enough double color that I think that Manolith is going to be pretty helpful. And we get a very late Djinn of Wishes here. I'm very surprised to see that. So, very happy to be in blue. Yeah, there's a lot of powerful cards here, and Djinn is by far the best. This actually is a color combination I've not had the chance to draft before, and I'm kind of excited to try out blue-black. So pretty much what we're going to be doing is just, you know, getting a fair amount of removal, maybe some counter backup, but for the majority we're just going to be looking at pretty much evasion creatures. Like, we want the Tormented Soul over the Warpath Ghoul. Cancel is fine, but like Tormented Soul goes a long way to making this a good strategy. We don't have that many like Bloodthirst triggers yet, but we could potentially pick up like a Vampire Outcasts, which would make this card very good. So, you know, pretty happy. We've got 16 playables at this point. Probably not going to main deck the Master Thief unless we're really short on playables, but it's a very good sideboard option. Negate is probably another card we'll, you know, board into. We could potentially play it main deck. And Aether Adept is exactly what we want to see here. This card is ridiculous. So this deck is really coming together. You know, we have a decent amount of removal. We have some bounce. Need a few more creatures to kind of really seal this deck up, and, you know, maybe 1 or 2 bombs. I would not turn down like a Grave Titan if we open one in the next pack. Okay, here we have a Mana Leak. We could also pick up the Dual Land, and I'm actually tempted to do that because, you know, like I said, there's a fair amount of double color, and I'm all for smoothing mana, so I think I'm going to pick up the Drowned Catacomb. Typically, I'll end up being the kind of player that goes more for consistency over power, but, you know, I think this is fine because we have a lot of cards still to come. We already have 17 playables, so there's a good chance that, you know, we would have an extra playable anyways, so picking up the land really